Women traveling solo. The classic advice, wear a fake wedding ring and blend in to stay safe, is outdated and doesn't always work. But what about dealing with different cultures? Here are some strategies to help you travel safely and with real confidence. Hi, I'm the Urban Lady Prepper. I help single moms and solo women with practical emergency preparedness. But of course, all are welcome to become better prepared for whatever happens next. This is the time of year when many folks travel to see family for the holidays. While that travel tends to be within the same country, some of us will be traveling outside of our borders or will soon. While most travel advice is well-intentioned, I wanted to share real strategies that have kept me safe in generally sketchy situations. Strategies that nobody ever seems to talk about. In this episode, I'm sharing the unspoken rules of solo female travel that go way beyond the generic tips and give you the tools to travel with real confidence. After extensive solo travel, research, and sharing tales with other ladies, I'm here to tell you that for years, I've seen the same safety tips recycled online. Don't walk alone at night, watch your drink, be aware of your surroundings. And look, while that's all true, it's dangerously incomplete. It's basic advice. It doesn't prepare you for the nuanced, uncomfortable, and frankly, weird situations that pop up when you're a woman navigating the world alone. This isn't an episode to scare you. It's the exact opposite. True safety isn't about building a wall of fear around yourself. It's about having a toolbox of smart, subtle strategies that empower you to handle anything. It's about knowing how to read a room, a street, a culture, and to move through it easily. These are the rules I learned not just from comments, reels, or blog posts, but on dirt roads in the middle of nowhere, in crowded markets, and in late-night train stations. These are the unspoken rules. Let's start with what I call the local woman compass. My first unspoken rule is that local women are a valuable resource. Common advice tells you to be wary of all strangers. The unspoken rule is more specific. If you need help, directions, or just a quick vibe check, find a local woman. I'm talking about the grandmother selling fruit on the corner, the mom with their kids, or a group of young women laughing together. They are your safest port in any storm. I learned this the hard way in the winding back streets of an historic city. My phone was dead, the sun was setting, and I was hopelessly lost. A group of men started offering to help me, getting a little too close, their smiles never quite reaching their eyes. My internal alarm bells were screaming. Instead of engaging, I spotted the small textile shop where a woman, probably in her 60s, is carefully folding fabrics. I ducked inside, my heart pounded. I walked towards her and pointed at my printed reservation with a desperate, questioning look. She got it immediately. She shooed the man away from the doorway with a sharp string of words. Then she grabbed my hand. Her grip was surprisingly strong, walked me 2 streets down, pointed me towards my hotel, and patted my arm before turning back. She didn't just give me directions. She offered protection without a single word exchanged. Men might offer help for all sorts of reasons, but not all of them are in your best interest. In my experience, a local woman will help because she gets it. She understands, on a fundamental level, the vulnerabilities you face. Next up, master the soft no and the hard no. This is all about communication and body language. We're so often taught to be polite, not to make a scene. But your safety is so much more important than a stranger's comfort. The soft no is your first line of defense. It's for the pushy shopkeeper, the taxi driver offering a special tour, or the guy at a cafe who just won't take a hint. It's a firm but polite, no thank you, with a smile that doesn't invite further conversation. It's walking away, standing tall without a backward glance. It's confident, clear, and final. But sometimes a soft no just doesn't cut it. And that's when you need the hard no. The hard no is loud. It's aggressive. It's designed to make everyone look. This is for when someone follows you, grabs your arm, or makes you feel physically threatened. You don't worry about being rude. You become the crazy tourist. You yell. You shout, no, or leave me alone. You make a huge scene. I had to use my hard no once in a crowded square. A man had followed me for several blocks, getting closer and closer. I tried the soft no, ignoring him, picking up my pace, but it didn't work. Then he rushed up and grabbed my elbow. I just stopped, spun around, and screamed, "Get your hands off of me," at the top of my lungs. Every single head in a 50-foot radius snapped right towards us. He was so stunned he just let go and vanished into the crowd. Was it embarrassing? For about half a second, yeah, but it worked. Instantly. Predators thrive in silence and secrecy. Don't give it to them. Practice yellow. It feels weird, but you need to know you can access that voice when your adrenaline's pumping. Next, your safe base is non-negotiable. This might sound obvious, but there's more to it. The rule isn't just to book safe accommodations. The unspoken rule is that your room, your safe base, is a non-negotiable sanctuary, and you have to budget for it. I see so many new travelers trying to save every last penny on logic. This is honestly the biggest mistake you can make, especially as a woman. A cheap hostel in a badly lit neighborhood with no front desk and a flimsy lock isn't a bargain. It's a liability. It's a place where your anxiety will simmer, where you can't ever truly rest, and where your stuff is never really secure. Your peace of mind is worth the extra money a night. Trust me. I made this mistake once on an early trip. I booked the absolute cheapest hostel I could find online. The door didn't lock right, the neighborhood felt off, and my locker was a joke. I spent the entire night barely sleeping, with my passport and money belt strapped to my body, jumping at every footstep in the hall. The next morning, I packed up and checked into a slightly more expensive hostel, the 24-hour reception and glowing reviews from women, and I got the only solo room left. The relief was immediate. It was overwhelming. I could finally relax and actually recharge. Your safe base is your fortress. It's where you reset. Never, ever compromise on it. Now, if these unspoken rules are clicking with you, and you want more real-world advice that goes beyond the basics, take a second to hit the like and subscribe buttons. My whole goal here is to help you build more confidence and less fear, and I have so much more to share. Your support means the world, and lets me keep making these videos. Thanks. To continue, dress for respect, not for invisibility. Yes, I've made podcasts and posts about how to become with Pepper's Hall the Gray Lamb, but that is mainly for times when you need to become invisible, such as in post-disaster situations or in areas of high crime or civil unrest. But when travel, especially to another country, the tip, dressed modestly to avoid attention, is well-intentioned, but it's often misinterpreted as try to be invisible. The unspoken rule is to dress for respect. It's a subtle but powerful shift. You're not just trying to blend in, you're actively showing respect for the culture you're a guest in. And in return, you almost always receive more. Before I go anywhere, I spend a little time on Google or Instagram looking at what local women are wearing in their day-to-day lives. Are they in dresses? Jeans? Do they usually cover your shoulders? This isn't about playing dress-up or using your person's style. It's about finding that sweet spot between your clothing and their cultural norms. And pro tip, hacking a couple of big versatile scarves is one of the smartest things you can do. I remember walking through a market in a more conservative region. I was wearing loose linen pants and a t-shirt that covered my shoulders. I saw other female tourists in shorts and tank tops, and the difference in how we were treated was night and day. They were getting catcalled, harassed by vendors, and followed. Meanwhile, I was able to have genuine conversations. People smiled at me. An elderly woman actually took the time to show me which spices were the freshest. By signaling that I respected their culture, I was treated less like a tourist novelty and more like a person. It helps you blend in, not because you're invisible, but because you look like someone who bothered to learn about the place they're visiting, not acting like an entitled tourist or the infamous ugly American. Next, and this is the most important unspoken rule of all, you'd have to learn to weaponize your intuition. Everyone, including me, says, trust your gut, but not everyone tells you how. Trusting your gut isn't a passive field. It's an active, decisive tool. It doesn't need to make logical sense. It's that primal animal instinct that has kept our ancestors alive for thousands of years. As women, we're often socialized to second-guess this instinct, to be polite, to give people the benefit of the doubt. You have to unlearn that. Weaponizing your intuition means that you treat that weird feeling as a direct order. No questions asked. It's the sudden urge to cross the street for no reason. It's the feeling that you should take a different route back to your hotel. It's the decision to leave a bar a little earlier than you planned, even if you can't explain why. You'd have to act on it without hesitation. I was once looking for dinner in the city I just arrived in. I found a restaurant on a side street that looked perfect. great reviews, cozy buy. But as I stood at the entrance, something just felt off. I couldn't put my finger on it. The people inside looked fine, the music was good, but my stomach was in knots. The voice in my head was a quiet but firm, "Don't go in there." Instead of arguing with it, I just listened. I turned around, walked away, and found another place on a busy main road. The next day, another tourist staying at my hotel said that solo diners and restaurants on that same street my intuition told me to leave had their badge stolen. Did my gut know that specific fact? Of course not. But it sensed a risk my conscience brain couldn't see. Your intuition is your most advanced personal security system. Listen to, act on. It will never steal you all. Here's a bonus tip from a relative who's a retired cop. He's well-traveled, and one piece of advice he gave me was to always carry a knot full of dollar bills in whatever currency, and keep it in a pocket you can easily reach. This way, if someone tries to rob you or walks up aggressively demanding money, you can grab that money, throw it, and run in the opposite direction. Chances are they're more interested in the money than you, so you have the chance to get away before they come up with any other ideas. In conclusion, the point of solo travel isn't to navigate a world full of threats. It's to experience the incredible beauty, kindness, and connection our planet offers. These unspoken rules aren't meant to limit your experience. They're meant to expand it. They're the tools that give you the confidence to say yes to that spontaneous trip, to wander down that interesting-looking street, and to connect with people from a place of encounter, not fear. The advice like the fake wedding ring and other fear-based tips, it all comes from a place of trying to make them smaller, less available, and that isn't always a bad thing if it helps keep you safe, depending on the situation. But this episode aims to do something more, make you smarter, more aware, and more comfortable in unfamiliar areas. So pack your bags and pack these strategies too. Pack your local woman compass, your soft and hard nose, and above all, pack your trust and your powerful intuition. Traveling solo as a woman is one of the most liberating things you can possibly do. You don't need to be fearless. You just need to be smart. And you can absolutely do this. What are some of the unspoken rules you've learned on your travels? Share them in the comments. Let's help each other explore the world safely and with confidence. Thanks for listening, and safe travels. Until next time, this is the Urban Lady Prepper signing off. I'm sure I've given you some things to think about as you go through the upcoming week. Has this episode resonated with you? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to click the link in the podcast description. Get one of my cool designs on a shirt, hat, mug, and more at my Redbubble store. Or you can always buy me a coffee or get a Jace case for your emergency medical needs. It helps support what I do, and I really appreciate it. Join me on the socials, especially on YouTube, where I'll be uploading videos for my blogs from urbanladyprepper.com. I appreciate your time with me. Stay safe, stay sharp, and be ready.